Imagine this. You're somewhere in Central Asia. There is a giant cast iron kazan over open fire. Lamb is sizzling in hot fat. Potatoes are turning golden. And the smell? That's dangerous. Today, we're making Kazan Kebab, one of the most legendary dishes of Central Asian cooking. But here's the interesting part. Despite the name, this is not really a kebab, because in many parts of the world, kebab means grilled meat on skewers. But in Central Asia, sometimes kebab simply means fried or roasted meat cooked over fire. And the word kazan, that's a giant cooking pot used across the Silk Road for centuries. Nomads, traders, armies, and travelers carried dishes like this across modern-day Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and beyond. Some historians believe Kazan-style cooking became widespread during the Turkic migrations between the 6th and 11th centuries. Others connected to Silk Road caravan culture, where one-pot meals were practical, filling, and perfect for feeding groups of hungry travelers. And honestly, if you had one giant pot, some lamb fat, potatoes, and fire, you'd probably invent that too. So today we're making crispy, juicy, smoky Kazan Kebab. And by the end of this video, you might start looking for a giant Kazan online. Let's cook. Lamb ribs and lamb shoulders. Lamb fat, salt, black pepper, cumin. Potatoes, onions, carrots, garlic. Dill, parsley, and green onions. Traditionally, Kazan Kebab is made with lamb. Bone-in cuts work best because they stay juicy and add flavor to the oil. We need lamb in large chunks, not tiny pieces. This dish is supposed to be rustic. Salt, black pepper, and cumin. Because if Central Asian food had a natural perfume, it would probably be cumin. Next, potatoes. And these are just not a side dish. Good Kazan Kebab potatoes absorb all that lamb flavor and become dangerously addictive. Sliced onions and carrots. Chopped herbs. Simple ingredients, big flavor. But while our ingredients are ready, let's talk about why giant metal pots became so important across the Silk Road. For centuries, Central Asia was connected by the Silk Road, a massive network of trade routes linked China, Persia, Middle East, and Europe. And when people travel, food travels too. The Kazan became one of the most important cooking tools across the region because it could do everything: boil, fry, stew, bake, feed 20 hungry people at once. Nomadic cultures especially loved it because it was durable and practical. One fire, one pot, one meal for everybody. That's why dishes like plaf, shurpa, dimlama, and Kazan Kebab all revolve around the same cooking philosophy. Simple ingredients, maximum flavor, minimum waste. And unlike Western-style kebabs in many countries today, traditional Kazan Kebab was often cooked outdoors for family gatherings, celebrations, weddings, and just because someone had good lamb. Honestly, if your neighbor started making this outside, the entire street will suddenly become very interesting in visiting. And now let's make the magic happen. First, heat up the Kazan. We're rendering lamb fat first. This is where the flavor begins. Potatoes go next. And yes, this part is dangerous, because once you taste one, you will keep tasting them until half of the batch disappears. When the potatoes are golden, take them out. Now the lamb. This is the sound of happiness. Traditionally, the meat is fried until deeply browned. Not pale, not steamed. You want color, you want flavor. Add onions and fry until golden. Now, carrots. This is such a lazy dish. I'm enjoying it. Add salt and pepper. Add a lot of cumin, because Central Asian cuisine does not believe in emotional support cumin. It believes in aggressive cumin. It's finally time for garlic. Potatoes go back on top. Now cover it and let everything cook slowly together. And while this finishes cooking, let's talk about why food cooked in a cast iron tastes different. Cooking in Kazan changes flavor in a big way. The thick cast iron stores heat evenly, which creates intense browning and deep caramelization. Basically, science makes it delicious. That's one reason dishes cooked in Kazan often taste better outdoors over fire than on a regular stove. Another interesting thing, many families across Central Asia pass down their Kazan like family treasure. Some are decades old. And if someone owns a giant Kazan, there is a very high chance they are the person organizing outdoor cooking for every family gathering forever. Also, every region has its own version of Kazan Kebab. Some add tomatoes, some add peppers, some use beef instead of lamb, some cook it over open flames only. So now I want to ask you, how do people cook meat outdoors in your country? Tell us in the comments, because food history gets way more interesting when everybody joins the conversation. Look at that! Crispy potatoes and juicy lamb. Oh my God. And these fresh onions and herbs on top. Let's try it. That meat is ridiculously tender. And the potatoes might honestly be the best part. You know food is good when nobody talks anymore. Everybody just starts aggressively eating. If you make this for guests, prepare for them to mysteriously return every weekend. Kazan Kebab is proof that you don't need complicated ingredients to make unforgettable food. Just fire, a giant pot, good meat, and hungry people. And if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe to High Story Cooking Classes for more food history from around the world. See you in the next class, because next time we're firing up Kazan again. But this time, we're baking nomadic pies inside it. Yes, people of the steppe looked at the giant metal pot and said, "What if pie?" And honestly, it's genius. So subscribe to High Story Cooking Classes, because the next episode is going to smell incredible.